It was supposed to be a simple morning delivery, until she appeared, standing dead center in the middle of the cul-de-sac like she owned the entire street. My truck's engine rumbled, the amber lights flashing across the quiet suburban road. But Karen didn't flinch. She crossed her arms, blocking my path like some self-appointed gatekeeper of the neighborhood. I leaned out the window and tried to keep it polite. "Ma'am, I've got a time-sensitive delivery. Could you please move your car?" Her lips curled into a smirk. "This is a private community. You people can't just drive those big noisy trucks here whenever you want. You people." That tone, that look. I'd met Karens before, but something about this one was different. She had the confidence of someone who thought the law bowed to her. I checked my paperwork again. Delivery address: Governor's Estate, Cedarwood Lane, Lot 7. That was right behind her car. The governor himself had ordered a confidential crate to be hand-delivered and signed for before 10 a.m. I looked back at her. "Ma'am, I'm delivering for the governor's office. I need to get through." She laughed. "Sure you are. And I'm the Queen of England." The clock was ticking. 10 minutes left. I couldn't risk being late. Security would lock the gate, and I'd lose the contract. I tried reasoning again, but she doubled down. "You're trespassing. I'm calling the HOA and the police." She pulled out her phone like it was a weapon. Meanwhile, I spotted a few neighbors peeking through their curtains, whispering. My radio buzzed. "Cedarwood Delivery 12, status?" My supervisor's voice crackled through. "Blocked by a resident," I said through clenched teeth. Karen shouted, "Don't you dare move that truck!" Then she did the unthinkable. She parked her car sideways in front of my bumper, sealing the road completely. I took a deep breath, stepped out of the truck, and handed her a copy of the delivery order. Her eyes skimmed the paper, but she scoffed again. "Governor or not, nobody's allowed past me without HOA approval." The tension in the air was electric. She had no idea how much trouble she was walking into, because within minutes, the governor's security team would be on their way. And they didn't play around. And when they arrived, Karen's face would say everything. Karen stood like a soldier guarding her driveway, her phone pressed to her ear as she ranted to whoever from the HOA would listen. Meanwhile, I leaned against my truck, pretending to stay calm, but my heart was racing. I'd done deliveries for VIPs before, but never one where I had to deal with this kind of obstacle. I opened my glove compartment and grabbed my badge. The official delivery. Contractor's ID for the governor's office. I walked toward her again, careful but firm. "Ma'am, this isn't just any package. It's a government delivery. You're obstructing official property." She rolled her eyes. "Nice prop. You think flashing a badge is going to scare me? You're still on my street, and this truck is ruining the neighborhood's look." I almost laughed. "Ma'am, I'm hauling critical security equipment. You'll want to move that car before I could finish, my radio crackled again. "Delivery 12 status? The governor's office is asking for confirmation. He's on site waiting." Karen froze for a moment, but her pride was louder than her logic. "Oh, please. The governor doesn't live here. This is a quiet community, not some political playground." I replied to my radio, making sure she could hear every word. "Tell the governor's team I'm being blocked by a resident. I'll need assistance." The line went silent for a second. Then a deep, authoritative voice came through. "This is Governor Henderson." "Who's blocking my delivery?" Karen's face paled slightly, but she quickly masked it with a forced laugh. "Nice trick. You've got friends pretending to be the governor now?" The voice continued, firmer this time. "Identify the obstruction, driver. My security detail is 5 minutes out." Now Karen's confidence started to crack. She looked around, realizing neighbors were stepping onto their porches, phones recording. Her car, still parked sideways, looked like a barricade in front of a massive white delivery truck marked State-Authorized Vehicle. I lowered my voice. "You really might want to move that car, ma'am." But she didn't. She just stood there, frozen between arrogance and disbelief. Then, in the distance, black SUVs appeared at the end of the lane. Tinted windows, flashing blue lights. The hum of their engines sent a ripple through the neighborhood. Karen's jaw dropped. They're really here?" she whispered. I smiled slightly. Told you, ma'am. Governor's delivery. Her face drained of color. She turned toward her car, fumbling with the keys. But it was too late. The governor's security team had already arrived, and they weren't happy. The black SUVs rolled to a stop, their doors opening in perfect sync. 4 men in dark suits stepped out, each one wearing earpieces and mirrored sunglasses that reflected the chaos perfectly. The quiet suburban street had never seen anything like it. Karen froze mid-step, one hand still on her car door. Her earlier confidence evaporated as the lead agent, a tall man with a stone-cold stare, approached. "Ma'am," he said evenly, "is this your vehicle blocking state property?" Karen blinked rapidly, trying to recover. "This is my neighborhood. That man," she pointed at me, "was trespassing. I was just protecting our community." The agent's jaw tightened. "You're currently obstructing a government delivery under executive order. That's a Class B offense." The color drained from her face. A what?" I stayed silent, standing near my truck, watching the scene unfold. The other agents began inspecting the area, scanning plates, taking photos, and radioing updates. One of them motioned toward the governor's estate, visible at the end of the road. "Sir, the governor's ready to receive the delivery. Should we clear the path?" The lead agent nodded once, then he turned back to Karen. "Move your vehicle, now," Karen stammered. I can't find my keys." That was a lie. I'd seen her clutch them seconds earlier. The agent didn't buy it either. "If you do not move your vehicle within the next 60 seconds, it will be towed under executive authorization." Her eyes darted toward the gathering crowd. Nearly every neighbor was outside now, phones up, capturing every moment of her meltdown. The woman who once barked, HOA rules like gospel, now stood trembling before men who could call in a helicopter if they wanted. I couldn't help but feel a small sense of satisfaction. Finally, she found her voice. "You can't do this. I pay HOA dues. I have rights." The agent's response was calm but final. "You're interfering with state operations. Move the car or we'll move it for you." That broke her. With shaking hands, Karen jumped into her sedan and reversed awkwardly, nearly clipping her own mailbox. The crowd actually cheered. I climbed back into my truck, gave the agents a nod, and began rolling forward. As I passed her, Karen refused to meet my eyes. She just sat there, gripping the steering wheel, face red as a stoplight. The agents escorted me up to the governor's gate. But little did I know, the story wasn't over yet. The governor himself had seen everything on the live security feed, and he had something to say about it. The governor's estate stood tall and silent behind the iron gates, draped in morning sunlight. As the security team waved me through, I couldn't shake the feeling that I was being watched. The driveway stretched like a red carpet lined with flags. Leading up to the mansion's front steps, 2 uniformed guards greeted me as I parked. "You the driver who got blocked?" one asked with a grin. "Yeah," I replied, still trying to calm my heartbeat. "You guys saw that?" He chuckled. "The whole thing. Governor's been watching the security feed inside." He wasn't too happy. Before I could respond, the front doors opened. Governor Henderson himself stepped out. Tall, silver-haired, and carrying the kind of presence that made people straighten their backs. His voice was steady but sharp. "You must be the delivery driver who nearly got detained by the HOA queen herself." I gave a half-smile. "Yes, sir." She wasn't exactly welcoming. He laughed softly, though his eyes said he wasn't amused. "That woman has complained about my staff for months. I suppose today she learned there are limits to her authority." One of the agents wheeled out the crate I'd been transporting, a secured case marked State Emergency Response Equipment. I handed the governor the clipboard for his signature. As he signed, he glanced toward the gates. "Is she still out there?" "Yes, sir. Sitting in her car, I think." He nodded slowly. "Good. Let's have a little word with her, shall we?" My stomach flipped. "You mean right now?" He grinned. "Why not? Might teach her something about respect." Minutes later, the governor himself, surrounded by his security, walked out to the street where Karen still sat, fuming behind her wheel. When she realized who was approaching, her jaw dropped. Governor Henderson? She squeaked. He leaned on her window. Ma'am, I understand you blocked one of my government deliveries this morning. I didn't know, she stammered. I thought... He raised a hand. You thought your personal opinions outweighed official state business. Next time, I suggest thinking twice before standing in the way of someone just doing their job. The neighbors went silent. You could hear a pin drop. Karen mumbled an apology so quiet it was barely audible. The governor turned to me. Son, thank you for your patience. Next time, if someone blocks you, call me directly. He smiled, shook my hand, and headed back toward the mansion. As I climbed into my truck, I looked back once more. Karen sat motionless, her reign over the neighborhood shattered, and I couldn't help but grin. Didn't see that twist coming, huh? If you enjoyed watching Karen's epic roadblock backfire, make sure to hit that subscribe button for more wild real life HOA and neighborhood stories every week. Drop a comment below. What would you have done if Karen tried to block your truck? And don't forget to like the video if you think the governor handled it like a boss.